Hello, everybody, and welcome to your grade 10 theory course. All right, first in this unit, we're going to talk about basic pitching, notes on the staff, using clefs. The vast majority of this is just review stuff. You've seen it before. It's easy stuff. So, real quick, notes are placed on the lines and spaces of the staff, especially for those of us who it's been a while since we've read music. This is just a good refresher. All right, so let's jump in real quick. We'll notice that it says in the treble clef we have a low G below the second ledger line below the staff. We carry on through our musical alphabet all the way up. We can use ledger lines. We can use technically an infinite number of ledger lines on a staff, but we only use a few. If we need to go a ridiculous amount of ledger lines, we would use a new clef. So let's just zoom in here real quick and do a quick review of some treble clef stuff. Let's remind ourselves that in the treble clef, we have the lines and spaces. The lines themselves are E, G, B, D, and F. Easy stuff. The silly little acronym, every good boy deserves fudge. Feel free to write that down on your page somewhere. Elephants go bowling down freeways. Empty garbage before dad flips. You know, there are tons of them. Make up one of your own if you want. For the spaces, they spell face, F-A-C-E, right? Now, one of the beauty things about the staff, about any staff, any clef, is that you don't have to necessarily remember every single little rhyme for lines and spaces. If you remember one, let's say just one of these, let's say you don't remember face. That's not a part of your vocabulary, little tricks. But you do remember that every good boy deserves fudge. You remember the names of the space of the lines. So then, if I were to ask you, if you know E and you know G, and I ask you what this note is right here on the first space, well, I don't know. I don't have a trick, but I do know what the line below it and the line above it are. I know that here's my E line. I know that here's my G line. And what letter comes between E and G? E, F, G. So I know that this note must be F. Same goes for any space on the staff. If I'm asked what this note is here, well, I don't know what that space is, but I know that here's G and here's B. What comes between G and B in my musical alphabet? It's the note A. And so on throughout all the spaces. Okay, so essentially, if you just remember one code, it helps you answer the other one for you. All right? Okay, let's carry on to review the bass clef really quick. Bass clef works exactly the same way. You're using letters from A through G, lines and spaces. The little tricks for using the lines and spaces of the bass clef, you have this little rhyme, G, let me just use a red pen. G, B, D, F, and A. This traditional rhyme is good boys deserve fudge always. Very similar to the treble clef in that it's about boys and fudge and being good and all that stuff. Again, you can come up with your own little rhymes. George Bush died Friday afternoon. There are tons. He didn't actually die. But anyway, you can come up with your own silly little rhymes. In the spaces, you have A, C, E, and G. The traditional one, all cows eat grass. All cars eat gas. You can come up with your own. And the same trick works in that you don't have to memorize both necessarily. If all you know is that all cows eat grass, and I ask you what this note is right here on the second line, right? I don't know what this line is, but I know the space below it is A. I know the space above it is C. So what goes between A and C? Well, B. Or don't even go that far. I know that here's A, and this one is up one step. So up one step means forward through the alphabet. That's all I really have to do. Okay, that second line is a B line, and if we scroll across, we would see that B right there on that second line. Okay, so there's your review. Now, to carry on, it just gives you a few little reminder notes. Sharps, flats, and naturals are used to raise or lower the pitch. If you're looking at a piano keyboard, most of the time that does refer to the black notes on the keyboard, but not all the time. And when they are placed in the middle of the music, they are called accidentals. So that just refers to basically temporarily sharpening a note or flattening a note in the piece of music, and only for that bar. A key signature, on the other hand, again, this is all review, guys. A key signature is placed to the right of the clef and has one or more sharps or flats to let the musician know what key the piece is in. It indicates that all the notes of that pitch are to be played as sharp or flat. So the little example here, you have a clef, you have a key signature with one sharp in it. That sharp happens to be on the F line. Okay, that means that all Fs in this piece should be F sharps. Okay, now it doesn't mean just the Fs on this line, on the top line. They literally mean all the Fs. Okay, so all Fs on the top line, any and all Fs on the bottom space. If there were Fs way down on several ledger lines below the staff or above the staff, you'd play those as F sharps as well. All Fs are played as F sharp. All right. Okay, so with that quick little review, you should be able to complete this worksheet. Just a few questions. Name these notes. True or false. Complete the fill in the blanks. Easy stuff. All right, there's your first lesson. So let's have a great start to this year. Excellent, easy unit to start off this course.